Okay, this like a trebuchet.
I made a trebuchet to test Gary's claims. So I made this trebuchet. Well, I've adapted it from this machine.
Okay, this is on a spring.
You can see that strong spring there, that pulls this up. Bangs against there. I then improved it with a much lighter arm. This 2 meter length of aluminium weighs 640 grams, whereas the previous arm weighed about 3 kilograms.
It has a consistent compression. You pull it back to the same amount each time.
Stopper. Notice the steel bar sticking out from the edge of my table. And that's what the aluminium rests against, so it always starts from the same position in both cases. My noisemaker thing broke off. For timing purposes, I deliberately make a noise when I release it. I hold it back with this spanner and then flick against a piece of metal, just so it makes a noise. Then we can see on the audio timeline exactly when it was released. And when we hear the noise of it hitting this piece of metal at the end, we can see on the audio timeline exactly when it finished. A few people have said they have difficulty understanding what I'm doing when I'm using audio to measure the time. Look, these are the audio tracks to these videos, 6 samples in total. I did 3, 1, 2, 3. I did 3 videos, the 2 mass and 2 mass, and then 3 videos of the 2 mass and 1 mass there. Now look, these are the audio tracks, so it makes I make a noise when I let go there, and it makes another noise when it hits those metal plates. So it goes ding, 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 ding. Those are the time. That's time there, which you can measure in. Looking at the top left-hand corner, I can measure the number of frames in seconds. So from there to there, that line there where the cursor is, that's 105 seconds. These are the 2 mass one. That goes faster than the 1 mass one there. See there? That works out longer. That example was from the first trebuchet using a 3 kilogram lever. When I changed it to the aluminium lever weighing 640 grams, the difference in timing expanded a lot more to about 1.27 or 1.3. The timing difference then expanded to about 1.3.
Put a 2 mass on here.
That's pointing to 1,228 grams on the lever that's moving the fastest. That's at 2 mass at the midway point, 985 millimeters from the pivot.
This will move in, like if I did a slow motion camera thing. You know, it'll go a certain amount of distance. In a certain amount of time. The 2 mass, and it stops here. There's a little stop here. Okay, I put a 2 mass on. It does this certain thing. I could take a live action, stop action photographs. You know, each little tiny increment. When I put the 1 mass, okay, twice the distance.
614 grams, or the 1 mass if you want to call it that, on the end. That's 1970 millimeters from the pivot. Okay?
Every single bit
From the far end
will look exactly the same. Every single motion of this lever will be identical. Every release of this spring, every motion of this gear, every single bit of it will be exactly the same.
Oh, just look how the same these aren't.
Nothing will change for this atom.
Well, I can't see any difference at all, can you?
Nothing will change for this atom. Every single atom in the trebuchet will do exactly the same thing in both cases. In both cases, exactly the same motion will take place. MV says everything's conserved. This energy will be the same as this energy. The motions will be exactly the same. everything will be exactly the same. It all works. It's conservative. Check. It passes. This does not pass. It somehow says there's 200 joules with the one mass object out here, even though every single motion was exactly the same. It's not possible. The same force is creating, is doing the pushing. The same force, the same pressure was on this atom. The same pressure was on this atom. Same pressure on all these atoms in both cases. They were doing exactly the same thing. Same pressure on this little piece. This little piece. This little piece felt exactly the same pressure. It's doing the same work. The same exact work for every little piece of this mechanism. Felt the same everything. But everything's the same. There's no way you can explain this difference. This difference doesn't exist. The two objects have the same momentum, all right? And that means momentum is their energy. And you can never collect this extra energy. Nobody can ever collect it. Because if it actually happened, we would collect it and we would all have free energy. M1/2 mv squared is a free energy theory. There's no way of getting around it. Trebuchets make free energy, levers make free energy, everything ends up making free energy. Trains into springs makes free energy. There's free energy all over the place. It makes no sense. It's not logical. It fails dismally. This simple test, and not one single one of you
What about me?
cranks and complainers and naysayers and dismissers can do the simple task of explaining how I made some mistake in this logic. Where's the error I made? A single element where I've made a single critical mistake. It doesn't demonstrate just how corrupt your belief system is. You believe because you want it to be true. That's it. You believe because authority told you. You believe for all the wrong reasons. You obviously don't understand anything. You don't understand hypocrisy and duplicity and plain contradiction. You can't have contradiction in your theory. You can't say there's no free energy and then point out how you can make free energy. You can't do that and be reasonable. I had no idea. Like I said, the hard part was, doing all this theory and figuring out alternative explanations. I thought the easy part would be saying, hey, look, their theory's wrong. This simple theory explains. I thought that would be the easy part. And I was wrong.